Ironback fans, time now for tonight's Club Roma 7K Challenge. Thanks to our friends at Club Roma, if our Ironbacks pitching staff records 7 strikeouts throughout the night, all fans in attendance will receive free mozzarella sticks from Sala 61. We're counting every strikeout, so get loud whenever our pitchers get 2 strikes on a batter as we chase strikeout number 7 and earn those delicious mozzarella sticks, courtesy of Club Roma and Sala 61.
What are we putting in?
Your phone.
Oh.
If you get a
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Niagara Falls, Ontario, St. Catharines to be exact, as we cross the border for a Niagara Falls rivalry. The Niagara Ironbacks and the Niagara Falls Americans set to begin here at George Taylor Field. My name is Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. We're here on the American Sports Network gearing up for a matchup that has not taken place here in July yet. Welcome in, Ethan.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Americans have lost last 5 games so far. In those games, they were outscored 45-12, losing 3 to Geneva on the 30th, the doubleheader on the 5th, also falling Batavia 2-1 and getting swept by Auburn 10-0. Sort of a mixed bag here for the Ironbacks. Went 2-2-1, beat Oleans when the Americans haven't done yet. Also beat Auburn in the second game of their doubleheader, lost to Auburn as well. And fell to Batavia. Also tied Jamestown. First tie for either of those teams. That honestly hurts Jamestown more than it hurts the Ironbacks. But last time the Ironbacks won was the 5th at Auburn. So the Americans haven't won, it feels like 6 games since that doubleheader on, I believe, the 30th against Elmira.
Yeah, the Americans coming into tonight 9-17. You mentioned 5 in a row. Really been struggling as of late. They've lost 8 of their last 9. The Ironbacks coming into this one 11-14. And won 7-5-1 here at St. Catharines at George Taylor Field. So playing much better here at home compared to on the road, where they are 4-9. As you mentioned, Ethan split the doubleheader yesterday against the Auburn Double Days. So they're on a 1-game win streak, if you want to call it a streak. Whereas the Americans 6-9 at home, 3-8 on the road, and an L5 currently. And that'll bring us to the Americans starting lineup tonight. David Harris to lead things off. He'll be in right field. Evan Corin center. Dominic Zangardi, the designated hitter. Matthew Ganschow in left. No Derek Jesmondi tonight after suffering a tough right leg injury running through first base yesterday. Logan Stickler getting the start for the first time in about a week at the extra hitter position. Adam Weiss over at first. Thomas Marcotte at the hack corner. Anthony Savino in the 6th hole. Mitchell Canuel at second. CJ Snooze behind the plate. And Tyler Foxcroft getting the start on the mound. Here's the first pitch. David Harris chops it back right to the mound. Picked up by Jack Kemp. He flips it on to first and retires one of the best hitters in the PGCBL in David Harris.
We usually don't see Harris swinging at that first pitch, and I'm very curious to see, Tom, what we're going to see from Jack Kemp. Only his second appearance, went 3 innings against the Muck Dogs. Only gave up 3 runs in that final third inning. Had 3 strikeouts as well, so curious to see in his second appearance what he'll do against the Americans, but it's a quick first out.
First pitch to Evan Core is called a ball. Yeah, only 1 outing on the year. A native of Niagara Falls, Ontario, plays his collegiate ball at 3 Rivers College in Missouri, which is a Division I JUCO. 1-0 to Core. Delivered a fastball on the outside corner. Misses. Now 2-0 at Three Rivers through 34 this innings. 11 this series. 11 appearances, 4 games started. Had a complete game in there as well. Went 1-1 on the year at Three Rivers. Here's the 2-0 to Core. Popped up on the edge of the infield. Drifting out. Panazzo, but coming in is Thompson, but Panazzo makes the catch for the second out of the inning, as that brings us to the Ironbacks defensive linemen here this evening at George Taylor Field. That's the Americans. Here is the Ironbacks. Will Mahara is out in left, Wes Thompson in center, Jordan Gallo in right, Cooper Martin at the hot corner, Carton Shin over at shortstop, Peyton Panazzo at second, and Michael Gregas at first, Kieran Cutler behind the plate, and Jack Kemp on the mound. So here's Dominic Zangardi, incoming freshman at Niagara. First pitch misses outside for ball number 1.
Zangardi's someone we sort of see like every so often for this Americans team. Someone I feel like we're both pretty high on, but they sort of will go back and forth whether they're gonna use them in the outfield. Honestly, it goes back to how crowded the outfield is, especially with Evan Cord coming in center. They're gonna use him as the DH today, but feels like he could obviously be in that outfield as well.
Done some pitching this summer as well. Might see him on the mound today in relief of Tyler Foxcroft, who normally is a catcher but going to be starting on the mound today. That one catches the outside corner. Again, Zangardi really can't figure out, exactly how they want to utilize him in the outfield. You mentioned kind of rotating between spots, but really mostly been in right when he's been out there. Pitch, Zangardi chops it foul down the first baseline. It'll stay 1-2. Americans no hit in Game 2 of a doubleheader yesterday against the Geneva Red Wings after suffering a 6-4 loss in Game 1, which only comes a day after losing a 2-1 pitcher's duel against the Batavia Muck Dogs. Here's the 1-2, misses up and away, now 2-2. 2 quick outs in the inning, a David Harris ground out back to the pitcher, and an Evan Core pop out to Peyton Panazzo at second. Kemp ahead. Count is even 2-2. Pitch. Zangardi hits it foul, putting together a good at-bat here. The Ironbacks been very back and forth with the Americans this year. The Americans leading the season series 3-2. Here's the pitch. Zangardi chops it foul once again. Really out in front of these pitches from Kemp so far.
Certainly one of the best hitters on this team. We talked about only 18 years old, but has done pretty well against most of these pitchers, especially against this guy who's been in college for a couple of years.
6'1", 185 on the bump today, Jack Kemp. Here's the 2-2 to Zangardi. Swung on a miss, strike 3 is tagged out at home, and there's strike 3 against Dominic Zangardi. So Jack Kemp makes quick work of the Americans' first 3 in the order, and they go down in order. 1, 2, 3. The Ironbacks coming to bat here in the bottom of the first.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter.
Welcome back to historic George Taylor Field in St. Catharines, Ontario, across the Canada-U.S. border. Not far, about 25 minutes from the border, as the Ironbacks are coming to bat. Here in the bottom of the first, we'll take a look at their starting lineup this evening.
Michael Gregas at first base leading off, then Peyton Panazzo staying at second base. Sometimes will go between second and short, but going to be at second. Jordan Gallo, one of the best hitters on this team, in right field batting third. Hendrik Vandermeer, first time we're going to get to see him today at that 4 spot. Kieran Cutler, we've faced before behind the dish for the Ironbacks. Carter Shin coming back after his injury. A rough start of the season coming in, but found his footing 2 hits yesterday at shortstop. Josh Bullock, the extra hitter, then Cooper Martin at first base. Then Wes Thompson, the center fielder. Left fielder Wilma Juarez, and the starting pitcher. A quick 1-2-3 inning, Jack Kemp.
So Tyler Foxcroft starting on the bump today for the Americans. His first appearance, not only on the mound, but in a game since playing Olean earlier in June. First pitch to Panazzo, misses low for ball 1. Foxcroft just 1 appearance on the mound this year, but it was a good one, a clean inning.
Yeah, went 1 inning against Jamestown, only allowed a single hit, also had a strike as well. A strikeout as well, excuse me, but certainly someone this Americans team can like to have, has a 0 ERA, can eat innings for this Americans team. It just goes to show the pitching problem this Americans team has when your catcher is arguably one of your best pitchers on the air.
So Peyton Panazzo leading things off, a switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Foxcroft, hitting .356 this summer for the Ironbacks. 1-1 from Foxcroft. Inside corner gets the call. Quickly ahead, 1-2. Pitch inside, misses to Gregas. Now 2-2. So it'll be a 2-2 count coming to Michael Gregas, playing first base this evening for the Ironbacks. Foxcroft on the mound, working from the stretch with nobody on base. Here's the pitch. Inside, just misses. Now 3-2.
He just worked it full. Someone who does strike out off to 12 strikeouts, but trying to get his 9th walk. As Foxcroft not trying to get the leadoff runner on.
Marcotte shaded over at third. Here's the 3-2 to Gregas. Just misses upstairs, so there's ball 4, a leadoff walk for Tyler Foxcroft.
Second baseman, Peyton Panazzo.
Foxcroft got it to be a 1-2, but 3 straight balls, good at bat. Gregas, 5 stolen bases. This team not really known for its stolen bases, but Gregas certainly can run at first base, someone that Foxcroft's going to have to keep an eye on.
So here's Peyton Panazzo playing second base tonight for the Ironbacks. Ironbacks going with 3 lefties in a row against the righty Foxcroft. Gregas off first. Pitch from Foxcroft swung on and missed by Panazzo for strike 1. The Ironbacks batting .287 as a team this year, which is almost 50 points higher than the Americans, just .239 here in the summer of 26. The Gregas fakes a steal and heads back to first. Pitch is called a strike, so now count is 0-2 against the Ironbacks second baseman this evening.
Had a 1-2 count against Gregas, trying to quickly make work of Panazzo on 3 pitches.
Foxcroft out of the stretch, steps off, checks on Gregas, who's back standing up. Not much of a pickoff. Americans playing up the middle. Turned a couple double plays yesterday in a doubleheader against the Red Wings. Foxcroft comes set ahead 0-2. Deals to Panazzo, misses upstairs, 1-2 with the fastball.
Only saw 1 inning from Foxcroft. Really interested to see how long they're going to trust him to go in this game. When you have a pitcher you really haven't used that much, it's kind of sky's the limit for how far he can go. It just depends how his arms feel.
He's ahead 1-2 here against Panazzo. Deals, misses up and away with the curveball. Now 2-2. I mentioned this Ironbacks team batting .287 as a team. They get on base at a .398 clip, whereas the Americans get on base at a .401 clip, which has kind of been their calling card all year. The walks, able to get on base at a very high level. Here's the pitch. Panazzo right at Weiss, catch, and steps on first for a double play. How about Adam Weiss? Right at him. Steps on first, 2 quick outs in the inning.
Adam Weiss, arguably one of the best defensive first basemen in this league, and it's for stuff like that, able to make that huge catch. A lot put on that ball by Panazzo. Got a huge double play, and after that leadoff walk, runners on base evaporated here for the Ironbacks.
Now here is Jordan Gallo, been one of the best sluggers in all the PGCBL West Division on the season so far. Really a dominant force at the plate as he's ahead in the count 1-0 here against Tyler Foxcroft.
He can really do it all, Tom. 569 slugging, also 569 on base percentage. So it's not really walks or hitting the ball. He can do both, which we really want from a talented hitter.
Swings and misses there for strike one. Yeah, Gallo 483, 21 RBIs. He's got a hit in 13 of his last 15 games. Also hitting .533 here at George Taylor Field this year. That's 16 for 30. Here's the 1-1 from Foxcroft, and he hits Gallo. 2-out hit by pitch. The Ironbacks have a man on in Jordan Gallo.
After getting the quick double play, runner immediately gets back on. Now a runner on first base again.
Been a real struggle for the Americans this year, those hit by pitches.
Third hit by pitch for Gallo. Also has 4 stolen bases, so also can steal. So it brings up Vandermeer.
So here's Vandermeer batting from the left side. First pitch from Foxcroft, misses outside for ball 1. Yeah, you mentioned earlier Foxcroft, the true catcher, not really sure how deep into the game he can go. Here against Vandermeer, the designated hitter tonight for the Ironbacks. Foxcroft behind in the count 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Now 1-1.
Vandermeer, someone this team just sort of started to use a little bit more. Only his 6th appearance, 5th game started. So 286 hitter, but only has had 14 at-bats so far in the year.
Vandermeer, a two-way guy, can step out on the mound if you need him to, and takes that one outside for a strike. Now 1-2, 6'7", 235 pounds at the plate here for the Ironbacks against Foxcroft, who's just 5'11", 160. 1-2 deals, fouled off. We'll do it again, 1-2.
As you mentioned, Vandermeer also solid on the mound. 2 appearances to start a game. Still no wins or losses yet, but just went 5 1/3 with only 3 runs given up. So certainly someone they're trying to use more on the offensive side after what he's done on the mound.
Foxcroft working from the stretch. Count is 1-2, 2 outs in the inning. Gallo not much of a leadoff first. That one's chopped foul towards the Ironbacks dugout. Stay 1-2. Gallo reached first, hit by pitch, 2 outs in the inning. After a double play from Adam Weiss, unassisted, liner right at him, didn't even have to move an inch, and stepped on first for 2 outs. Count is 1-2. Foxcroft deals. That one's flown out into left field. Not deep, Ganschow underneath it. He makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, the Ironbacks get 2 runners on, but leave 1 stranded. No runs, no hits, and no errors. So Tyler Foxcroft able to work his first inning scoreless.
Yeah, but because that fly out to Vandermeer is a pitcher first, hitter second for the Americans. It's honestly the opposite. They have a lot of guys who are hitter first, pitcher second. It really goes to show issues with this Americans bullpen, but gets Vandermeer to fly out. You get 2 runners on and get the wood on the bat, unlike the Americans, but leave them scoreless. Certainly a good inning from Foxcroft. Certainly curious to see how many pitches he had through that first inning.
So the Americans come to bat here in the top of the 2nd. It'll be 4-5-6 for the red, white, and blue.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
Back here at George Taylor Field in St. Catharines, Ontario.
Coming to the plate is number 15.
It'll be 4-5-6 coming up for the Americans. Matt Ganschow to lead things off.
$1 off for the remainder of this inning.
Ganschow bats from the right side against the righty Kemp. Ganschow 2 walks in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday, where the Americans were held scoreless. Only had 4 runners reach in that game. Ganschow twice. First pitch from Kemp, taken inside for strike number 1, caught the inside corner.
Yeah, you mentioned Ganschow really the lone bright spot. Both those walks, though, with 2 outs. Really felt like the Americans could only get runners on after those 2 quick outs. That's why runs really didn't follow.
Pitch to Ganschow, misses outside. Now 1-1. Ganschow hitting .347 this summer, 22 RBIs, leads the Americans. Been struggling a little bit, though, as of late. Here's the 1-1. Ganschow gives that one a ride into center. Coming on is Thompson, and he can't get there, so it's a leadoff single for Matt Ganschow.
The way he played that in center field, you thought that ball was hit a lot further and just sort of realized a little bit too late, but called a bloop single. It doesn't really matter. Ganschow on first base is going to bring up Logan Stickler, and the Americans have a runner on with no outs. Really something they didn't have in that first inning.
So here's Logan Stickler. Just 17 at-bats this summer. Hitting .118. Pitch in there, called strike 1. Stickler, one of the few Americans returners coming back this summer for his second summer wearing red, white, and blue. Him, Derek Gismondi, another guy coming back. Ganschow now off first, leadoff single, 0-1 to Stickler. Fouled off down the right field line, so 0-2. Stickler limited action this summer, just 2 hits on the year, 1 RBI. Will Cordero trying to ignite his spark in number 17. Behind in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Kemp. Misses low and away. A good block back there from Cutler. Really spiked by Kemp.
Yeah, about 5 feet off the home plate there. Good block there as Ganschow could have easily gotten in a second.
So Stickler still behind 1-2. Ganschow off of first. Not too big of a lead. Not a huge threat to run. Pitch to Stickler. Chopped up the middle. Fielded by Panazzo. Steps on second for 1. On to first. It's a double play. A 4-3 2-out play for the Ironbacks. And 2 quick outs. Back-to-back half innings with a double play. Jack Kemp surely will thank his second baseman.
Yeah, Stickler, as you mentioned, has really had a tough year so far. 118 batting average, so they'll go down a little bit after that. Grounded to a double play. Really someone who's not seen that much action, only 10 games on the year due to the injury of Gismondi, and the Americans had a runner on, not how they're going to want to do at top of the second.
So in steps Adam Weiss. He takes a curveball up and in for ball number 1. Weiss has got a hit in 2 of his last 3 games and hitting .286 here in the month of July so far. Played in both games of the doubleheader yesterday against Geneva. Pitch from Kemp, fastball fouled straight back. Weiss all over it. So count now 1-1, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Not too bad of a crowd here at George Taylor Field. Not a ton of people, but not extremely quiet either on senior night. It'll be a 1-1 from Kemp to Weiss. Inside, misses now 2-1.
Weiss only a .239 hitter, but his real actions are the walks. 19 walks on the year. It gets on base at a .470 clip.
Very high. His best attribute. Weiss rips that one down the right field line. It's fair. It'll roll to the corner. Weiss rounds first. He's headed for second. Gallo picks it up. Weiss is going to stop at second, so a 2-out double for the Americans' first baseman. And they got a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs.
I've talked about his main way of getting on is the walk, but can hit as well. Second extra base hit on the year for Adam Weiss. Had 1 double before it, but we talked about the Americans have gotten action with 2 outs, but haven't been able to capitalize after that, trying to do that here with Weiss at second.
Marcotte coming up now for the red, white, and blue. Looking to drive in the first run of the ball game. been hitting the ball well as of late, has Marcotte. 3 hits in his last 5 games. Here's the pitch. That one's hit to right field. That'll fall for a base hit. It's going to roll towards the corner. Weiss will round third. He'll score without a throw. Marcotte heads into second, and he's going to stop right there. So it's back-to-back doubles for the red, white, and blue, and they take a 1-0 lead here at George Taylor Field.
Talked about the Americans struggling with 2-out hitting. Certainly not the case there after back-to-back doubles for Marcotte, who's only had 4 hits on the year. All singles, only had 1 RBI. Now he's going to double that and get his first extra base hit of the year. The Americans that we talked about their hitting struggles, getting outscored 45-5, have a 1-0 lead against pretty tough Ironbacks team that's honestly pretty underrated in this West Division.
So the Americans' offense clearly has been shut down these past couple games, but they're turning around so far in the second inning as in steps Anthony Savino. He takes strike number 1. As of late for the Americans, just 5 runs in their last 4 games. Now already with 1 here in the second inning. Kind of faced some bad luck over these past couple games as well in terms of the walks, the hit by pitches. Here's the pitch to Savino, swung on and missed for strike 2. When you think about that as a whole, I mean, 5 runs is never going to get it done in a 4-game span. So Savino quickly down in the count, 0-2. Getting started shortstop tonight. Played some second base yesterday in half the doubleheader, and then also played short yesterday. Here's the 0-2 to Savino. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Jack Kemp gets Savino down on strikes, but not before the Americans put up a run on 2 hits. No errors in the inning, and 1 runner left on base. Played an inning and a half, and the Americans are ahead 1-0. So a good start for Niagara Falls.
Yeah, Americans weren't really deterred by that double play by Stickler after the walk from Ganschow. Just a pair of doubles. Would have liked to see Savino put something on that ball, as he's really had plenty of strikeouts. But Americans get a run on. They're leading in this game. It feels like a lot of the games so far in the last 5 games, they're trailing. They're coming from behind, but not the case here, as the Ironbacks the ones who are down, as we'll head to the bottom of the second.
Yeah, you mentioned not phased by the doubleheader. They did or double play, excuse me. They do all that with 2 outs, right? Back-to-back doubles from Weiss and Marcotte, as we have a little keg roll challenge out on the field. But the extra base hits definitely been a struggle for the Americans this year. Just 4 extra base hits in the last 4 games, which is near the bottom of the PGCBL as a whole. We'll take a look at the Americans' defensive alignment tonight. Thomas Marcotte at third, Anthony Savino at short, Mitch Canuel at second, and Adam Weiss over at first. The battery, Tyler Foxcroft tossing to CJ Snooze. Then in the outfield, it's Matt Ganschow, Evan Core, and Dave Harris from left to right. Foxcroft now out there for his second inning of work. A longer inning than he would have liked probably in that first, though.
Yeah, 2 runners get on safely, including one was deterred because of that grounded double play, which Nick also dealt with. But as Matt talked about it, Foxcroft faced 5 batters, same as what Kemp did in that top of the second. So looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning like Kemp did in that top of the first.
So here's Kieran Cutler, the backstop this evening for the Ironbacks. First pitch from Foxcroft in there, called strike 1. A nice get-me-over curveball for Tyler Foxcroft. Able to work in there against Cutler and get ahead in the count. 0-1. Foxcroft, here's the 0-1. Fouled off the glove of Snooze, so now 0-2. Foxcroft quickly ahead here against the Ironbacks backstop.
America should be happy they went with Cutler instead of Bullock in game 1 of the doubleheader. Bullock was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Bullock only had 1 RBI in that loss, so happy they went with Cutler behind the dish. He's on an 0-2 count.
Yeah, Bullock also 3 for 5 the last time these 2 teams met. In that game, he had an RBI, and that was quite a win for the Americans the last time these 2 teams played each other back on June 17th. The Americans walked them off 10-9 at Sal Magley Stadium. Miguel Salcedo with a walk-off single to right. But in that game, the Ironbacks had 18 hits, and they still lost as Cutler dribbles that one to second, fielded by Canuel. He'll go on to first and get the first out of the inning.
opt to use Canuel at second, who's due up when we head to the top of the third. They've used a couple of players. Gladfelter, third straight game with an absence. Coach Cordero pitchy punishing after that, getting called out, trying to steal third in that two-run loss. Opts to use Glasscock, who's struggled hitting. So they're going to opt to use Canuel, who pitched a couple days ago. Played all right, but Americans couldn't get any run support behind him.
Yeah, pitched yesterday in that first game of the doubleheader. Went the distance. 94 pitches for Canuel. And he's playing second base the day after. A true warrior out there on the mound as Foxcroft lands that one in for a strike. Seems like every time Canuel is out there on the bump, he's going the distance or thrown over into triple digits. Here's the 0-1 from Foxcroft. Curveball just misses low. Now 1-1, so this is Carter Shin at the plate for the Ironbacks, playing shortstop today. Just his 10th game of the summer after coming back from a broken wrist. Pitch from Foxcroft. Shin checks his swing, fouls it off. So it'll be 1-2.
I talked with Mitch Canuel, talking to him as Massachusetts native, plays at Assumption Worcester, is why he didn't want to go to the Worcester Bravehearts in the Futures League. Talked about how they really were going to only use him as a pitcher, and we talked about him as a utility guy, and talked about wanting to play the field, usually that second baseman. So that's why he chose to play for the Americans this year, and he's done well in both.
1-2 is driven out to right field. Coming on, Dave Harris. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Yeah, you mentioned Canuel, gotten some time at short, second, even catcher. The last time these two teams met back on June 17th, Mitch Canuel had a two-run single in that game, played second base in that one as well. So Will Cordero, maybe some voodoo magic, given Canuel had started second after a two-run single in that game all the way in the middle of June, which feels like forever ago, really. A long season, but also a short season at the same time when you really think about it. So 2 outs in the inning. Foxcroft's first pitch is swung on and missed by Josh Bullock.
We talked about that long first inning that Foxcroft had and wanted to go quicker. His already has 2 quick outs here against Bullock here.
Pitch just misses low and out. For ball 1, we mentioned Josh Bullock not behind the plate, but he is still in the lineup as the extra hitter. Had some luck this year earlier against the Americans at 3 for 5 with an RBI in that game. But really, Cooper Martin, the hero of that game, he had 4 hits in the ball game. Pitch in there, called strike 2. So Foxcroft quickly ahead, 1-2, 2 outs in the inning. The Americans ahead 1-0, 3 hits in that first inning. Foxcroft working out of the stretch. Ahead 1-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch outside, misses 2-2 with the curveball.
He's used that curveball a lot. It's certainly fooled a couple of hitters so far, but low and outside there, not enough to freeze Bullock.
Americans playing Bullock to pull to the right side. Here's the 2-2. Misses low, so it'll be a full count pitch coming from number 29 for the Americans. Foxcroft, actually a Doane, Ontario native. Heading to Doane University, a Grimsby, Ontario native. Here's the 3-2. Bullock gives that one a ride. Headed back towards the track in right field. David Harris, he's not going to get there. It'll land in front of the warning track. Bullock will head for second and make it. So it's a 2-out double for Josh Bullock, and his luck against the red, white, and blue keeps on going with a 2-out double.
Americans will be happy if that one's just a double, as Bullock smashed that one into right center. Harris had a long way to run, sort of pinned that ball against his glove and the wall. Glove fell off, but Bullock going to get in safely with a double. First hit for the Ironbacks, and that's his 3rd extra base hit, all doubles. After that double, Foxcroft trying to get a quick out here and leave it a 1-0 game.
So in steps Cooper Martin, first pitch in there, called strike 1. Martin playing third base this evening for the Ironbacks. Went 4 for 5 with 3 runs the last time these two teams met up. Really had some luck against the Americans this year, just like Bullock out there on second. Count is 0-1 coming from Foxcroft. Here's the pitch. That was flown out into center. Coming on is Core. Pretty routine play. He makes it for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Ironbacks get no runs on 1 hit. No errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 2 full innings, and the Americans still lead 1-0 And they're coming to bat. It'll be Canuel, Snooze, and Harris for Niagara Falls.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter.
So the Americans are leading the Ironbacks 1-0. It'll be Canuel, Snooze, Harris coming to bat for Niagara Falls here against Jack Kemp out there for his third inning of work in the battle of the number 29s. Kemp 29, Foxcroft 29 for the Americans on the mound. So here's Canuel after throwing a complete game yesterday. 13 hits, 7 runs, but only 3 were earned in that game against the Red Wings. Kemp out of the windup, deals to Canuel, gives that one a ride to right field. Coming on, Gallo, and he makes the catch towards the right field line for out number 1. A nice running catch from the Ironbacks right fielder.
A lot of barrel on that one from Canuel. Batting around 100 with 111 batting average. Only a single hit. It was a single which did score 2 that you mentioned earlier, but good piece of hitting, just tracked down for out number 1. So we'll get to the 10-hitter, CJ Snooze.
So here's CJ Snooze into the box from the right side. Struggled a little bit at the plate yesterday. Bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in a big moment. Pitch. Chops that one to short. Coming on, Shin plays with one hand. Flips on to first in the dirt. A good pick by Gregus. Michael Gregus. A beautiful pick at first base to save a couple bases and an error. And 2 pitches, 2 outs for Jack Kemp.
Yeah, Shin, who's came back recently, looks to be getting back to the position there. Gregus went head over heels, plopped onto first base, but able to get a huge out there. So you mentioned probably would have went into the dugout as 2 quick outs. So we go to the top of the order with David Harris, who flew out in his first pitch.
Shin looked awful relaxed on that play at shortstop, fielded with one hand. First pitch to Dave Harris. He drills that into center for a first pitch single, so no fear in David Harris's eyes for the 3-pitch inning as he extends his hitting streak to 6 and his on-base streak to 11. Still the most consistent bat in this Americans lineup.
Most consistent bat indeed. And speaking of, there he's in center field. Going to bring up Evan Core. Still looking for his first hit. Had a couple of walks and a strikeout and a hit by pitch yesterday. Certainly a mixed bag as he flied out his first time up today.
First pitch to Core is in there, called strike 1. So crazy to think, but only thrown 4 pitches in the inning has Jack Kemp. Core played for the Americans last summer. Played this past year at SUNY Niagara. There goes Harris. Throw down from Cutler. It's in time, but Panazzo misses the tag, and Harris gets to second with a stolen base. The Americans have a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd.
We've talked about what Bullock can do behind the dish hitting-wise, but Cutler, certainly a great arm. Honestly, would have been if it was a better throw. Try to go for that swipe tag. Harris kind of slid late, but honestly worked out for him there, so he'll get into second. Still 0-2 now. It doesn't matter if you get into second if you can't get him over at all.
Pitch to Core is in the dirt. That one will get by Cutler, and Harris moves up to 3rd. Not really much Cutler could do there. Kind of a spiked curveball from Jack Kemp makes it a 1-2 count. And just like that, David Harris, after 2 pitches, moves up 180 feet over to third base.
Yeah, didn't have any wild pitches in his game against Batavia. Spiked the pitch earlier, but it's a good stop by Cutler. No chance there. One more can get Harris over and make a 2-0 ball game.
Cora looking to bring in Harris home. Here's the 1-2. Misses upstairs. 2-2. Cora just 5'8", so not much of a strike zone for the American center fielder, and that one just missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. David Harris off third. Jack Kemp versus Evan Core. Pitch. Core chops that one to second. Coming on, Panazzo makes the play over to first and gets Core. So after a 2-out David Harris single, Evan Core grounds out to second. So we've played 2.5 innings. The Americans still ahead 1-0 against the Ironbacks. And looks like Foxcroft's going to go back out there for his 3rd inning.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from him. The Americans have certainly out-hit them a ton, 4 hits to 1. You certainly like what you've seen from Moore. They've certainly done a lot more offensively. A couple of walks for Foxcroft to get some runners on, but it really feels like the Americans have been in control so far today.
Yeah, the one thing I think Foxcroft's done overwhelmingly well is mix the pitches so far tonight. You're not seeing him get ahead with the curveball, get ahead with the fastball. He's kind of really mixed in all counts as well, which has proved him well so far in the first 2 innings. I'd like to give a special thank you to Greater Together Credit Union for sponsoring the Niagara Falls Americans. Greater Together Credit Union offers personalized banking services, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts to anyone who lives, works, or attends school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit GreaterTogetherCU.com or stop by one of their 2 Western New York locations, 2901 Military Road in Niagara Falls or 160 Ward Road in North Tonawanda, where you'll find support for all of your banking needs. So we head to the bottom of the 3rd here at George Taylor Field. The Americans lead the Ironbacks 1-0.
The one thing we talked about how Foxcroft has done on the mound, he's been solid, only given him 1 hit. One thing he hasn't done is gotten any strikeouts. Had plenty of 0-2 counts, Tom, but he's given up a walk to Regan, has given up a couple of 2-strike hits. So he's really trying to find his payoff pitcher. I wonder if he's going to opt to use that curveball, which he's got a couple swings and misses, but just not really that payoff one.
Yeah, see if he can kind of retire some more hitters. As Wes Thompson drives that one to left, it'll fall for a base hit. Ganschow comes over, plays it on a couple hops, and gets it in quickly. So that'll hold Thompson to a single, but the Burlington, Ontario native leads off the inning with a roped single to left.
Ironbacks now 2 for 3 on the leadoff. Last time that happened was the first inning where ground to a double play really silenced that, but just a well-hit ball into left field. Play well by Ganschow, but another single here against Foxcroft.
Pitch from Foxcroft misses low to Will Maharez, who's playing left field this evening for the Ironbacks. Maharez on the year, just hitting 200 with 2 RBIs in 15 games. Been struggling as of late, 1 for his last 11. Pitch, pops that one up in the infield. Foxcroft calls it himself and makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you talked about his struggles with that doubleheader they played on Education Day. Just 1 for 2, had to walk along with a strikeout, so he's able to get the ball on the bat and get a hit, but popped that one straight up there for big first out. Second straight time where they've had a leadoff runner, but haven't been able to get a hit after that. That time a double play earlier than that pop out.
So in steps Michael Gregus, flipped the lineup over, back to the top. Gregus walked his first at-bat in the first inning. Mark Cotton way in at third. Pitch to Gregus, called a strike on the outside corner.
Gregus also had that great pick at first to prevent Snows from getting on, potentially getting on to second after not a great throw from Shin.
Gregus been struggling a little bit here in July, just hitting 143 in the 7th month of the year. Pitch misses low for ball 1. Gregus, a native of Exeter, Ontario, plays his collegiate ball at Davenport University, a Division II school in Michigan. This year at Davenport, played 7 games, starting in 5, hit 235 in 17 at-bats. Here's the pitch, misses upstairs, so Foxcroft behind 2-1. Americans lead 1-0. Count is 2-1. 1 out in the inning with Wes Thompson over at first after a single to left field. Pitch. Outside corner. Lands it. A good spot from Foxcroft, and that'll even the count at 2.
He walked his first time up. I thought it was going to be a 3-1 count there, but ump gave the spot to Foxcroft. Now works it to a 2-2. So looking for his first strikeout. Good chance here.
Foxcroft working out of the stretch with Gregus off first. Kind of digs his cleat into the dirt a little bit extra, but staying put. Misses outside. So that'll load the count to full. Savino kind of signaling to Canuel like, hey, I'm going to come over if the ball is hit to Marcotte because of the angle that Canuel is playing at, almost in shallow right field. So would be a long run for Canuel to cover second on a ground ball to the left side. Here's the 3-2 from Foxcroft inside. And he walks Gregus, second of the night. And here comes Peyton Panazzo.
Big spot here for Panazzo. First and second, only 1 out.
So Panazzo, a switch hitter, batting from the left side here against Foxcroft. 1 out in the inning, first and second. The Americans looking for a ground ball here in the bottom of the third. Foxcroft out of the stretch. Deals the 0-0 to Panazzo. Squares the bunt, looking for a push, but going to be strike 1 down the third baseline foul.
Interesting choice to go to the bunt from Panazzo. Last time he was up, lines it into first to a double play. Just tried to go for the bunt on the third base line.
Hit the ball hard and has been as of late. 4 for his last 8. But struggles a little bit here at George Taylor Field, just hitting .237. That's 9 of 38 at home this year here in St. Catharines. Here's the 0-1. Dribbles that one to second. Canuel's only got 1 play, and he'll make it at first for the second out of the inning. Weiss jogs in. That'll move the runners up 90 feet. So now second and third, 2 outs for Jordan Gallo. You wonder if they intentionally walk here with the open bag over at first.
That certainly would be an interesting decision. We've talked about how far Canuel's played back if he's sort of closer, not really at the edge of the outfield. Maybe a chance for a double play ball there, but as it rolled all the way to him there, only chance is the out at first. They're not going to opt to walk him, so now second and third here with 2 outs.
Pitch to Gallo is cut on and missed. For strike number 1, Gallo entering tonight was the league leader in batting average in all of the PGCBL, both divisions. In terms of qualified hitters, a .483 average from the left side. Here's the 0-1 from Foxcroft, outside corner, gets it. Now 0-2 against the Mississauga, Ontario native.
21 RBIs for Gallo, tied with Ganch out here, trying to leapfrog over him with runners at second and third. But Foxcroft, now's a chance for that first strikeout. He's got Gallo on an 0-2 count.
This pitch should be nowhere near the zone if you're Foxcroft. Chops to first. Tough play for Weiss. Makes it. On ice backhanded scoop for Adam Weiss. And Tyler Foxcroft works into and out of the jam here in the top of the third. Bottom of the third, excuse me.
Great play by Weiss at first on a really tough pick. We've seen the Americans struggle with it. Whoever's at third base has had a lot of those times that they've struggled to make that pick. You saw Canuel backing him up. Wonder if it had went off the glove, if he tried to cover to get the out at first, but no need there. Weiss, another great pick. Great at first, as always. Runners at second and third against a tough hitter, but not an easy play for Weiss, but he makes it, and we're still up 1-0.
So 3 scoreless for Foxcroft. The Americans coming to bat. 3, 4, 5 for the red, white, and blue here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com.
Back here at George Taylor Field. Long history of baseball here. It's in St. Catharines, Ontario, as the Ironbacks and the Americans playing today. Zangardi hits that one down the right field line, a fair ball. He'll round first and head for second. It's all the way in the corner. Gallo going to dig it out. Zangardi not stopping there. He'll round second, head for third, and it's a leadoff triple for Dom Zangardi. The Americans have a runner at third to lead things off here in the top of the fourth.
Just off the glove of the first baseman, Greg, is who we talked about, the great play he made earlier, getting that great pick. No chance for that pick there. Rolled all the way to the wall. You thought for a second potentially sent him from third for inside the Parker, but Zangardi, a triple there. Curious to see how they'll score that one, if it's a hit or an error.
Yeah, definitely a triple in my eyes. A really tough play for Gregus over there at first. A hard hit chopper down the right field line that just kept rolling. Hard grass in the outfield here at George Taylor Field. And Zangardi got a good bounce, let it roll down the right field line. Here's the first pitch to Ganschow. Misses outside for ball one.
We were talking about Ganschow earlier. Those RBIs, 22 RBIs, so one above Greg is looking for one more here. I think Zangardi at third base already had a triple on the year. Now he'll have two. So now it's a 2-0.
Ganschow takes that one upstairs. The Ironbacks playing the infield back, so they'll trade an out for a hit, or an out for a run, excuse me, against the Americans here in the top of the fourth. They only trail 1-0, still early, so Richard Griffin going with the infield back. Pitch, curveball at the top of the zone, misses, so 3-0 to the Americans' cleanup hitter tonight. Ganschow a single to left field his last time up in the second. 2 walks in game 2 yesterday. Didn't play in game 1 of the doubleheader against the Red Wings. Here's the 3-0. Catches the bottom of the zone with the fastball for Jack Kemp, now 3-1.
So we talk about Ganschow is really his hitting prowess, 531 slugging, but also walks a ton. 13 walks, 478 on base. So wouldn't mind walking here to get the runners to the corners.
It'll be a 3-1 from Kemp. Pitch. Ganschow gives that one a ride to right. Not too deep, but deep enough for Zangardi to score. Gallo makes the catch. He'll come up firing, but it's too deep, and Ganschow drives in Zangardi with the sacrifice fly. The Americans take a 2-0 lead here in the top of the fourth against the Ironbacks.
Sure just got enough of it there for RBI 23. You thought there might be a chance on the throw, but just up the line to first. No chance there for Cutler. Zangardi speeding off of third. RBI courtesy of that triple from Zangardi. Americans up 2-0.
Triple was their 7th of the year. And Zangardi scores, so now 2-0. Would have been a remarkable throw from Jordan Gallo to throw him out. Stickler gives that one a ride to right. It'll fall for a base hit. Logan Stickler reaching with a 1-out single to right field here in the top of the fourth.
Americans have just continued to excel these first pitch hits. Stickler gets on here. Still only 1 out. He's at first.
So for a team that had 3 hits in 12 innings yesterday, already starting with 6 hits here in 3 1/3 innings. Stickler off first. First pitch to Weiss is in there. Called strike 1 from Jack Kemp. You know, you figure Kemp taking the mound today saw, this team was no hit yesterday in game 2 in 5 innings. Only had 3 hits in game 1 of a doubleheader. Should be kind of an easy matchup, but no, sir. 6 hits already for the red, white, and blue. Weiss fouls that one off down the right field line. Now 0-2 against the Americans' first baseman. So Stickler off first. Count is 0-2 against Adam Weiss. Jack Kemp working from the stretch. Weiss, a closed stance guy from the right side. Here's the 0-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Snap throw to first, but Stickler back diving. So there's the second out of the inning.
Big second out after that single by Stickler, able to retire Weiss on 3 pitches. It brings up Marcotte, who doubled his last time up for his second RBI on the year. Certainly a double could score Stickler from first if he's looking for an extra base hit party.
So Marcotte now 4 hits in his last 6 games. Stickler off first, not a big lead. Marcotte, an open stance guy from the right side of the batter's box, takes strike number 1 on the outside corner. Kept low to mid 80s, a junior college arm out of Niagara Falls, Ontario. Count is 0-1. Stickler off of first. Pitch to Marcotte, taken in the dirt. A good block back there by Cutler, who looks really comfortable behind the plate. You mentioned a really strong arm, but looks really good on these pitches in the dirt.
Only thing stopping Cutler from being their everyday catcher is really just his strikeouts. Since 18, it's really has been his one struggle.
Pick off to first. Stickler back diving.
Stickler hasn't attempted a stolen base. You have to take into account he's only reached first safely 4 times on the year, so you can take that into account. But they're acting like he's Gladfelter at first with the 3 pickoffs already.
1-1 to Marcotte. Chop to the left side, field on the backhand by Shin. A long throw to first, and he gets Marcotte by a step. So in the inning, the Americans score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. They lead the Ironbacks 2-0. 6 hits already in the ballgame for Niagara Falls, 2 in that inning. But the leadoff triple from Dom Zangardi really jump-starting a successful inning, scoring 1 run, which you got to give the Americans credit. That's more than they've scored in these last couple games.
Yeah, 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 of them extra base hits, 2 doubles, and a triple. Certainly feels like a new Americans team when they cross over the borders. They're going to opt to use Foxcroft again, who's just really had a great outing so far. He's really stifled this Ironbacks team. Despite having second and third, he's able to get out of it.
And if we have any kids in the crowd who are interested in running the bases, Megan is going to be beside the Ironbacks dugout right there.
Niagara Falls Americans are thankful for the continued support of Blaze Brockway Contracting, a family-owned general contracting and home improvement business serving the greater Elmira and Southern Tier region. In business for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway specializes in both interior and exterior renovation projects, from kitchen remodels to framing and custom cabinet installation to gutter and roof improvements. Blaze Brockway has you covered. Call 607-259-7607 for your construction and remodeling needs. So leading off for the Ironbacks is Hank Vandermeer. A big body in the left-handed side of the batter's box. The 0-0 pops that one up into shallow right. Canuel coming out. He's underneath it, and he makes the play for the first out of the inning. A lot of first pitch swings tonight on either side. Must be in a hurry before the rain comes around 9 o'clock, it looks like, according to the radar.
Yeah, Vandermeer last time out fly to left field on a 1-2 count after fouling off a couple pitches. Certainly not the case here. Just high fly ball there for Canuel for big out number 1. Certainly helping Foxcroft here on the pitch count.
So here comes Kieran Cutler. Pitch from Foxcroft. Another first pitch hack from the Ironbacks. Fouled off on the first baseline. So it'll be an 0-1 coming from Foxcroft to Cutler. Cutler from Paradise, Newfoundland and Labrador. 6'3", 220-pound sophomore at McCook Community College. Here's the 0-1 to Cutler outside. Misses now 1-1. Foxcroft not a guy that overpowers with the fastball, but able to get out so far tonight.
Yeah, I talked about Cutler sort of struggles, leads the team in hit by pitches with 4, also strikeouts with 18, just above Martin. So
Misses
that one for 2-1.
in the dirt, 2-1. Cutler 2 homers on the year, just 2 for his last 13. Been struggling a little bit with the strikeout, 13 Ks in his last 8 games played. It'll be a 2-1 from Foxcroft out of the stretch. The pitch, Cutler fouls it down the third baseline, so now count is even at 2. Foxcroft, a natural catcher, committed to Dowan University, just graduated high school, a native of Grimsby, Ontario. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, pitch to Cutler. Chop to the left side, but going to go foul. Ironbacks, the first Canadian franchise in PGCBL history, also the first international team in PGCBL history. Here's the 2-2 from Foxcroft. Cutler checks his swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. That'll load the count full. Last.
I was going to say Foxcroft going to have to wait here for his first strikeout. Nearly got it there, but Cutler didn't offer.
Tried to spot up a fastball in the outside corner. Just Cutler didn't pull the full trigger. Here's the 3-2. Outside, just misses. Yes, no, it didn't. Gets the corner. I thought it missed. Maybe about a half a ball off the plate. He got the call with the curveball. So there's his first strikeout of the night. Foxcroft gets the call from the home plate umpire. I thought it was outside.
I thought it was too. Sort of a late call there. Cutler, strikeout number 19. More importantly, Foxcroft's first. 2 quick outs here. Certainly a pitch that could have gone either way. Despite being in Canada, ref doesn't care.
So 2 outs in the inning. There's the curveball. Looks like very similar spot, but misses. One 0 count. Pitch from Foxcroft. A fastball right to the left side and through past the diving Marcotte. Shin will round first, stop right there. Ganchow gets it in. So Carter Shin lines a base hit to left here in his 11th game of the summer.
Second extra base hit of the year. Not an extra base hit. 5th hit of the year for Shin. Makes up for that near error he had earlier. Was looking at play earlier. Would have been his 5th error. Only real issue for him on the year is fielding percentage under 800, Tom. Certainly pretty tough, you would know, as an infielder.
Yeah, that's not exactly where you want to be in terms of numbers on the year. So now Shin off first, 2 outs in the inning. First pitch to Bullock. Misses low for ball 1. Bullock seems to be the driving force of this team when they're winning ball games, hitting .429 in wins, 9 for 21 on the year. Bats from the left side here against the righty Foxcroft. Here's the 1-0. Gets the corner, now 1-1.
Well, he still does his job no matter what the score is. I mean, he had that double in that second inning, really sandwiched between the Owls. The only person to get on in that bottom of the second after the fly out by Martin. So no matter what the game is, he still can get hits.
Pitch from Foxcroft inside, misses in the dirt. Now 2-1, 2 outs in the inning. Bullock hitting from the left side. A little bit of action going on in the Ironbacks bullpen. Seth Morrison getting loose. 2-1 pitch from Foxcroft inside and gets by Snooze. No, it doesn't. Right in front of him. Able to locate it and just in time to keep Shin over there at first.
Might have helped him a little bit too, just knowing where that ball is, able to keep him at first. Still 3-1 though. Don't want to get first and second on again.
Bullock plays his collegiate ball at St. Peter's University, a Jersey City Division I school. Just played 12 games this past year, 10 at-bats. Didn't have a hit. Pitch to Bullock inside. Now 3-1. Almost hit him. That'll walk him. Excuse me.
First and second again. Had that with 1 out earlier. Canyon was able to move them over, then find out. But first and second again. Despite only 3 hits, they've had runners on numerous times. So we'll bring up Thompson, who's singled to left field. He's last time up.
You know, you look at last year, the Americans won the season hit series between these two teams 10-1. Now this year, a little different, 3-2 in the season series against the Ironbacks. First and second, 2 outs, pitch from Foxcroft. Popped foul out of play for strike number 1 against the righty Cooper Martin, playing third base this evening for the Ironbacks. Cooper Martin out of Plainfield, Indiana, a long ways from St. Catharines, Ontario. Going to be a redshirt junior at Cedarville University in Cedarville, Ohio. Actually played his freshman year at Pepperdine. Here's the 0-1. In there, called strike 2 with a curveball.
We've talked about what his curveball can do. It's really freezing a strong hitter like Martin, 377 clip. Now 0-2, danger of striking out. 17 strikeouts on the year as well.
Count is 0-2, 2 outs in the inning. First and second. Foxcroft dealing to the righty, Martin, the pitch. Fastball hit down the right field line, drifting out of play, and it'll land in the Ironbacks bullpen. Stays 0-2. The Ironbacks, managed by Richard Griffin, has 53 years of baseball experience, a columnist for the Toronto Star for 23 years. The Americans managed by Will Cordero, who played 14 years in the MLB. Count is 0-2. Pitch. Fouled straight back. Martin all over that hanging curveball from Foxcroft. Stays 0-2. Foxcroft ahead, looking for an inning-ending out here against Cooper Martin. Way ahead, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Foxcroft. Fastball outside. Martin checked his swing, but didn't go. So 1-2. Count is 1-2, 2 outs in the inning. Foxcroft still ahead of Martin. Checks Shin at second. He deals. Pops that one into right center, coming on Core, and he makes the play to end the inning. So Tyler Foxcroft threw 4 scoreless innings on the mound for the Americans. Doing a good job out there and eating some innings at the same time. See how deep he can go into this game.
Yeah, at the very least, I mean, you'd like them to at least go 5 and tension for that win, but 4 strong innings. They've had 2 runners on. It's like 2 straight innings, but Americans sort of figured it out.
So it'll be 8, 9, 10 coming up for the Americans here in the top of the 5th against the Ironbacks here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com.
So we're here in the top of the 5th. The Americans Ironbacks for the 5th time this season. The Americans ahead 2-0. Anthony Savino to lead things off for Niagara Falls. First pitch to Savino, a fastball popped into the right side and off the Ironbacks dugout for strike number 1. So count is 0-1 against the American shortstop. Pitch from Kemp outside. Misses now 1-1. Kemp back out there for his 5th inning of work against the righty Savino. 8, 9, 10 coming up for the Americans. Pitch misses upstairs. Now 2-1. Kemp only one outing on the year compared to Foxcroft, same thing. So two really kind of inexperienced guys on the mound. Pitch to Savino, misses outside with the curveball. So Kemp behind 3-1 early here against Savino, looking to work a leadoff walk or get on some other way. Americans just batted 9 yesterday in both games of the doubleheader against the Red Wings. Now back to batting 10 in the lineup. Pitch to Savino, cut on a miss, strike 2. So now 3-2 coming to Anthony Savino, the hometown hero.
Both teams 2 for 4 leadoff. Look to get on again.
Pitch cut on a miss, strike 3. A leadoff K for Jack Kemp. 1 out in the inning.
Savino, 3-1, just swings and misses. Plenty so far for this Americans team. Just really has to figure out his strikeout woes because he can really be that everyday shortstop because he's been pretty good at short. Just struggling to put the ball in play. So it'll bring up Canua, that long fly ball into right field that was tracked down.
First pitch to Canuel, misses low for ball 1. Yeah, Canuel gave that ball a ride, but a good job from Jordan Gallo out there and right to track it down. For an out back in the third, so Canuel just 0 for 1 today. His second at bat here in the top of the 5th. Pitch from Kemp, fastball misses outside. Now 2-0, 1 out in the inning.
Kemp has looked for that outside fastball, just really hasn't gotten that spot at all. That's the reason why it's a 2-0 count.
2-6-0 for the Americans, 0-3-0 for the Ironbacks. Count is 2-0, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Pitch from Kemp, inside corner, gets it with the fastball. Now 2-1. Canuel sporting number 2, same number he wears at Assumption University. Pitch outside, misses. Now 3-1.
Okay, only 1 walk on the year. Certainly try and get on for the second time. Match his jersey number.
Here's the 3-1. Inside, misses. So Canuel works a 1-out walk for the Americans. Honestly, wild that he's in the lineup today. You look at yesterday, pitched the entire game 1 of the doubleheader against the Red Wings. Almost 100 pitches. And he's playing second base today for the Americans.
When you look at him, you wouldn't expect this guy to go 100 then play the next day. But, I mean, Mitchell Canuel honestly just full of surprises for this Americans team. And it's honestly been huge for them on both sides of the ball. Let's bring up CJ Snuz.
Batting from the right side, CJ Snooze, 1 out in the inning. First pitch from Kemp lands on the outside corner for a strike. Will Cordero kind of putting his hands up like something went wrong there with Snooze, maybe not checking for the signs or something. Canuel off first. Pitch to Snooze, chop back up the middle, fielded, stepped on second for 1, on to first. It's a Carter Shin double play for the Ironbacks. And a 6-3 DP gets out of the inning. Snooze back-to-back days, grounding into a doubleheader for the Americans. And the Ironbacks are coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th on the Americans Sports Network.
Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup.
Head to the bottom of the fifth here at George Taylor Field. Wes Thompson to lead things off for the Ironbacks. Thompson going to be a senior at Tiffin University, a Division II school in Tiffin, Ohio. Actually played for the Ironbacks last summer in their inaugural season. Just played 4 games, 2 hits and 12 at-bats. He actually gives baseball lessons to kids aged 8 to 15 in his free time. So Wes Thompson, a coach for the younger generation. Leading things off here in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch from Foxcroft is drilled down the left field line. That'll fall for a base hit. Ganschow cuts it off. Wes Thompson headed for second. Ganschow's throw in. It's offline, and Thompson in standing for a leadoff double for the Ironbacks.
You talk about why he gives lessons now. 2 for 2 with a single, now a double. Ganschow didn't play that as best he could. Just played it to the right. Allowed Thompson to get into second. Pretty close play, but you know if he plays out a little bit better, potentially could have been out at second. So Thompson, leadoff hitter, gets on in the 3rd and 5th innings. Now threatening here to score. Runner on second, still no one out.
So here's Will Maharez, the 10-hitter tonight for the Ironbacks. First pitch from Foxcroft, a curveball, swung on a foul tipped for strike 1.
So Maharez up. Popped it up right to Foxcroft on the second pitch to leave Thompson at first. Like a couple quick outs here for Foxcroft. If he goes 5, like to make it a scoreless outing for him, but he's going to have to go through Maharis, Grigas, and Panazzo, that top of the order.
First, second pitch of the at-bat, blocked by Snooze behind the plate. Count is now 1-1. Yeah, Greg is looming on deck. He's reached both times today, 2 walks. Panazzo also reached with a walk back in the 3rd, so some tough hitters coming up soon for the Ironbacks against Foxcroft. As Mahara digs in, count is 1-1. Checks on Thompson at second, delivers the pitch, is fouled back over the press box. Now 1-2 count coming to Will Maharas.
You've talked about his struggles, Tom, only batting .200, struck out 11 times. I'd like to get a strikeout here from Foxcroft to get a quick first out.
Yeah, would be a big one with a runner at second base in Wes Thompson. It'll be 1-2. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs with the fastball, so now 2-2. Nobody warming for the Americans. So riding Foxcroft as long as they can. Thompson off second. Pitch to Mahares is popped up into shallow right. A long run for Harris. And he makes the play. Not as long a run as I thought, really. Tosses it into 3rd to Marcotte. So able to keep Thompson at second. 1 out in the inning.
Maharis sort of a half run from second, but don't want to trust Harris's arm in right, would have been out by a mile. So quick out, pretty unproductive, unable to move the runners over.
So now 1 out, a big one. Back to the top of the order. In Michael Gregas. Pitch from Foxcroft outside corner. Called a ball, 1-0. Like I mentioned, Gregas reached both times today with 2 walks on the year, hitting .329 with 21 runs scored, 5 stolen bases. Just 1 for his last 7, though. Here's the 1-0 to Gregas. Pops it up to the left side of the infield. Marcotte ranging over, and that's a big out for Tyler Foxcroft. 2 straight pop-ups and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
2 humongous outs. The one thing you know if you got a leadoff double is the very least you want to move the runner over, but a fly out and a pop out, as it'll bring up Panazzo, who lined into that double play his first time up in the 1st inning, and then grounded out to second, which moved the runners over when they were 1 out, but has to put this ball in play here.
So Foxcroft working out of the stretch. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch from Foxcroft misses low and away for ball 1. Peyton Panazzo 0 for 1 today. Count is 1-0. Here's the pitch from Foxcroft. Lands in there for a strike, so now 1-1.
Chicago boy, get ahead.
Panazzo wearing number 1. Played multiple positions in the infield this summer for the Ironbacks. Done some third base, second base, even shortstop. 1-1 from Foxcroft. Panazzo gives that one a ride into right center. Harris back. Core over, and he makes the play. A nice running grab from Evan Core out in deep center. And a leadoff double is stranded from Wes Thompson. The Ironbacks score no runs on 1 hit. No errors in the inning. 1 runner left on base. We're through 5 full innings. The Americans lead the Ironbacks 2-0, and they're coming to bat here in the top of the 6th on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria.
So we're here in the top of the 6th. David Harris to lead things off. A lot of great delicacies in Canada. Poutine, bagged milk, ketchup chips, another one of those.
I'm certainly a fan of the latter. As Harris, who's swung on 2 first pitches, 1 for a flyout, 1 for a single, is not going to opt to there for strike number 1.
So Harris quickly down in the count. Great job from Foxcroft last half inning to work out of a jam after a leadoff double from Wes Thompson. Harris, the leadoff hitter today for the Americans, pops that one onto the left side of foul ground. A nice sliding catch by Cooper Martin. What a play in foul territory, and David Harris is retired for the first out of the inning.
Certainly didn't have any room to work there, right by the Americans' dugout, sort of where that grass ends near that fence, but sliding catch there to retire the tough hitter in Harris. This will bring up Evan Core. He's still looking for his first hit.
Core batting from the right side, just his second game of the summer for the Niagara Falls Americans, but played last summer as well. Pitch misses. So Core ahead in the count 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Core takes that one upstairs. Now 2-0. Core going to attend to Arkansas Tech in the fall, Division II school, after 2 years at SUNY Niagara. Playing for SUNY Niagara, that is. Here's the 2-0. Outside corner gets the call. Maybe about a half a ball off the plate, but the home plate umpire giving Kemp the call here in his 6th inning of work. Some more action in the Ironbacks bullpen. A couple guys up and throwing where nobody throwing for the Americans. Pitch to Core in there. Called strike with the slider. Now 2-2 from Jack Kemp, the Niagara Falls, Ontario native.
You talk about that call and that 2-0 Camp. It's honestly a similar spot to where Foxcroft got in the strikeout. So you could say it went either way.
Swung and a miss, strike 3. Evan Core down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning as he swings through a heater from Jack Kemp. That'll bring up Dominic Zangardi, 1 for 2 today, a triple his last time up down the right field line in the 4th inning. Zangardi, just 18 years old, going to be a freshman at Niagara University in the fall, facing off here against a sophomore at Three Rivers College, and Jack Kemp takes it in the dirt for ball number 1. Couple guys up, stretching, getting loose for the Ironbacks. Seth Morrison throwing off a mound, though. Here's the 1-0 to Zangardi. That one's drilled into right, but right at Jordan Gallo for the 3rd out of the inning. Zangardi gave it a ride, but right at Gallo for the 3rd out of the inning. Here at George Taylor Field, we're in St. Catharines, Ontario. Talk a lot about the delicacies here in Canada, poutine, bagged milk, one of those ketchup chips that we love. As we were saying, Canada all about the delicacies, poutine, bagged milk, ketchup chips, one of those. Enjoy some ketchup chips here in the press box when we come to George Taylor Field in St. Catharines. A lot of people love the ketchup chips. I myself am a fan.
I'm
Quite a
neutral.
snack. You don't like them?
They're all right. I mean, you were high on them. You were reminiscing on them to all the interns. But
They're great.
Yeah.
I love them.
looking in the left field, sort of cut off by our camera, you can see the K's near that left field line. 5 strikeouts for Kemp, all swinging. Hasn't caught anyone looking yet, but had a pretty good performance. You can look at both the pitchers' lines for Kemp. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. On the other side for Foxcroft, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 3 walks to 1 strikeout, which was looking. So.
And a big one. It came in a big time. Here's Gallo hitting from the left side. First pitch from Foxcroft, 20 on a miss, keeping Gallo off balance all game today. Was hit by a pitch in the first and grounded out to third back in the 3rd inning. So 0 for 1 today for the PGCBL's leading batting average hitter. Here's the pitch. Gallo bounces that one to first. Fielded by Weiss. He'll step on the bag for out number 1.
Sort of half run there from Gallo, about halfway to first the time that play was made. So quick first out here for Foxcroft. 5 1/3 strong so far.
Foxcroft can go another 1 or 2. That would be huge for this Americans team, as unsure of how many pitchers they really have today. Looks like Porter Slattery starting to move around. He tossed an inning 2 days ago against the Muck Dogs as Foxcroft lands that one in there for strike 1, quickly ahead of Hank Vandermeer batting from the left side. A big strike zone for Vandermeer, 6'7". Here's the 0-1. Chop to the right side, foul. So now 0-2. Foxcroft quickly ahead.
We're wondering how many pitches Foxcroft found at 85 total pitches for Foxcroft. 52 strikes, so really has pounded the zone so far today. Now he's got an 0-2 against Vandermeer.
Foxcroft out of the stretch. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Vandermeer pops up a curveball on the edge of the infield dirt. Now drifting out into center. Canewell makes the play for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 quick outs for Tyler Foxcroft.
Yeah, if he keeps getting these quick innings, he could go all 9. As his count's still under 90, Tom. He's already 5 2/3, so averaging around 15 pitches an inning. Pretty solid from a guy who hasn't pitched in over 2 weeks.
Here's Kieran Cutler. Batting from the right side, 2 outs in the inning. Count 0-0, nobody on. Pitch, misses upstairs. Now 1-0. You know, you look at how much Snooze has struggled at the plate for the Americans. Done a good job calling a good game for Foxcroft, keeping these hitters off balance tonight. Here's the 1-0. That one's drilled into left, fading foul, but it will land out of foul, and count is now 1-1. So count is now 1-1. Foxcroft among the younger guys on this Americans ball club. Just graduated high school this past year in 2026. Here's the 1-1. This is in the dirt, blocked by Snooze to Cutler. Cutler, the only Newfoundland-born player to attend the Toronto Blue Jays Futures Showcase at the Rogers Center. Pitch outside, misses, 3-1. Something the Blue Jays hold every year, showcase at their home stadium for young players like Cutler at the time to showcase their talents to scouts of all kind. Count is 3-1, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch from Foxcroft, misses low and away for ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued by Tyler Foxcroft, and Cutler reaches. Here's Carter Shin.
We'll bring up Shin, who's desperate for a hit so far. One big stat to mention here for these two teams. Americans 1 for 7 with runners on compared to the Ironbacks, who are 0 for 10, Tom. Certainly goes to show why they haven't got any runs across the board.
4 hits on the day for the Ironbacks compared to 6 for the red, white, and blue. Foxcroft deals, curveball in there, a get me over pitch for Tyler Foxcroft. Able to get ahead 0-1.
Shin, one of 3 players with a hit for this Ironbacks team. He has 1, Bullock has 1, Thompson has 2.
Good block from Snooze. Taking off for second is Cutler. Throw in the dirt. Pick at second by Canuel. Tag was applied, but Cutler beat it. And the Ironbacks have a runner in scoring position. Good play by Snooze behind the plate, able to recover after blocking it. A good throw and a good pick at second by Canuel. But Cutler, better offense.
Cutler is just able to sneak in there. Stolen base number 5 has only been caught once. Nearly was there, but now runner in scoring position here for Shin as it counts 1-1.
Foxcroft deals the 1-1. Hit to the right side, but it's going to land foul. Now 1-2. A big count for Foxcroft. Looking to get out of this inning unscathed. Foxcroft through 5 2/3 scoreless, looking to make it 6 here at George Taylor Field. Count is 1-2, 2 outs in the inning. Cutler off second pitch, flown into right field. A long run for David Harris. He won't get there. It lands in. Cutler will come around to score. Shin headed for second. It's a 2-out RBI double for Carter Shin, and the Ironbacks get on the board. Now 2-1. Niagara Falls leads.
Shin will get his extra base hit. More importantly, get his first RBI on the year. Just a blooper down the right field line, just hugging that line. No chance for Harris. Then with a dive, Shin able to scamper in for second. Ironbacks will finally get a run across Foxcroft. Took 5 2/3. Most importantly, just going to try and keep it 1. And still get the lead going into the top of the 7th.
Here's Josh Bullock. He's 1 for 1 today, a double and a walk. Pitch. Bullock dribbles that one foul, strike 1. You look at how important that stolen bag was for Cutler, able to take second on a wild pitch. He's able to come around and score on a double like that, proving huge to make this game 2-1, whereas he doesn't take second right there. This is probably still a 2-0 ball game with runners at second and third. Foxcroft out of the stretch. Here's the 0-1. Bullock takes it low. Now 1-1.
Everybody clap your hands.
Just to show anyone can get a hit. Shin was batting 148 prior to that.
Count is even at 1. Bullock batting from the left side, the extra hitter. Pitch from Foxcroft, outside corner, gets the call. A nice backdoor curveball from Tyler Foxcroft. And he's ahead in the count once again. 1-2. Need a big out here from Foxcroft, keeping this game at 2-1. Here's the 1-2. Bullock gives that one a ride down the right field line, but drifting foul. It'll land foul. Count is now 1-2. Stays 1-2. Count is 1-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Foxcroft from the stretch deals. Bullock dribbles that one foul. So count stays 1-2. Foxcroft still ahead, really grooving this curveball in. A nice 12-6 from the Grimsby, Ontario native. Bullock hit .319 for the Ontario Royals summer team last year. Now playing for the Ironbacks. Here's the 1-2, taken outside. 2-2. Bullock has a brother that runs track at Harvard, also a sister that plays soccer at Mercier. So the Bullocks, a family of Division I athletes, with Bullock attending St. Peter's as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch. Bounce to first. Weiss fields. It'll take it himself for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Ironbacks get on the board. They score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors in the inning, and they leave 1 runner stranded on base. The Americans still lead 2-1. We've played 6 full innings here at George Taylor Field in St. Catharines, Ontario. And the Americans are coming to bat here in the top of the 7th. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
So we're now in the top of the 7th here at George Taylor Field. Matt Ganschow to lead things off for the Americans. Scores 2-1. The Americans over the Ironbacks. First pitch is a fastball from the new arm of the Ironbacks. It's Caleb Sengen. Tosses from the right side. Here's the 1-0 to Ganschow. In there, called strike 1, 1-1. Sengen from Welland, Ontario. Plays his collegiate ball at Fanshawe College in London, Ontario. Here's the 1-1. This is in the dirt. Now 2-1. Ganschow signaling to Stickler on deck and the dugout that Sengen got a good curveball. A lot of spin. Something that he's going to communicate to the next guys coming up later in this inning. Pitch from Sengen. Ganschow fights it off. A fastball in the inside corner.
See one of their best arm so far. Only one game started. This is his 6th appearance. Really, primarily comes in only 7 innings pitched, but 3.86 ERA, 5 strikes.
Count is even at 2. No outs in the inning. Pitch to Ganschow. Outside corner called. Strike 3. And Sangan comes on and sends Ganschow back to the dugout for the first out of the inning.
That's a huge first out against one of their best hitters. So to bring up Logan Stickler, who singled his first time up.
Here's Logan Stickler laughing, a little funny sounds here by the DJ at George Taylor Field. First pitch. Stickler bounces it up the middle. Panazzo plays it on the run, throws across his body, and gets Stickler by his step. A nice play by Peyton Panazzo. That's second base for the Ironbacks.
2 quick outs and 6 pitches here. This brings up Adam Weiss, looking to extend this inning.
So Stickler swinging at the first pitch again. That's 3 straight at-bats for him. Bringing up Adam Weiss. Pitch. He swings at the first pitch as well. Fouls it off behind home. Now 0-1 against the Americans' first baseman.
Longest outing they've seen from Sagan has been 2 innings against Newark, so wonder if they'll try and have him go the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Pitch. Weiss pops that up on the right side. A long run for Gregus at first. A tough play. He drops it. A really tough angle for a first baseman to go out into shallow right field, kind of looking over. That's more of a second baseman's ball, but a long run for Panazzo. He couldn't get there. Gregus gave it his best shot, but ultimately couldn't haul it in.
Nearly made the play, sort of an over-the-shoulder catch from Gregus, who's been pretty solid at first, but still an 0-2, so still a pitcher's count, but Weiss trying to have Gregus pay for that missed catch.
2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Weiss digging in from the right side. Pitch from Sangan. Misses outside. Now 1-2. Weiss, we've said it earlier tonight about how good he's been at getting on base this summer, whether it's via the walk or getting on with a hit. See if he can work this count deeper. Here's the 1-2. Weiss fouls it off with a check swing. It'll stay 1-2.
Sagan has had them swinging on these inside pitches. First Ganschow, now Weiss, just pitches you think you'd hold off on, but just a lot of movement. He fouls it off, stay 1-2.
Sangan deals the pitch to Weiss, chops it to the left side of the infield. Going to be a tough play, and it gets by Martin into left field. Weiss will stop it first. A tough hop in the infield. Going to be interested to see how that one's scored. But Weiss reaches with 2 outs.
That's just a tough play for him. That's a tough play for him here. Really nothing you can do. Just a miserable bounce there for a third baseman.
So Marcotte batting from the right side. Takes that pitch upstairs. Ball 1. Yeah, obviously called a hit after the tough bounce over at third. Martin couldn't make the play. Weiss off first. Pitch to Marcotte in the dirt. Cutler can't block it, and Weiss will scamper up to second, 90 feet closer. Now in scoring position for Thomas Marcotte, who's got a double today. Count is now 2-0 as Richard Griffin will take him walk to the mound and talk things over with his reliever. But he got big at-bat now from Marcotte with a runner in scoring position.
Huge at-bat from Marcotte. I mean, you can't really blame Sagan there on that hit. Just sort of talking with his shortstop there at third. I mean, you think you played how you're supposed to. You just charge it well, and then it sort of blooped right past him to the left, able to have Weiss get on. I don't really think she worried for Sagan, albeit a 2-0 count, but he really got 2 quick outs and no one warming in their pen.
So 2-0 count coming to Thomas Marcotte. Marcotte going to play his collegiate ball at Rhode Island College in the fall after 2 years at Southern Maine Community College. Here's the 2-0. Taken outside for strike number 1.
Marcotte has really been all around the infield. Third baseman, first baseman, second baseman, really trying to cement himself in this infield spot. Can certainly do it with a single here.
2-1. Misses low, now 3-1. Marcotte working it to a good hitter's count. Anthony Savino looming on deck for the Americans. Weiss off second. Hoping to score on a base hit here from Marcotte. Count is 3-1, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch from Sanguin. Fouled off on the first baseline, out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 7th. The Americans lead the Ironbacks here in a pitcher's duel, 2-1 ball game. 7 hits for the red, white, and blue compared to 5 for the Ironbacks. Pitch to Marcotte, dribble to short. Shin charges, plays with one hand, throws on the run, got him. So Sanguin works around an infield single with 2 outs. The Americans score no runs on that 1 hit. No errors. They leave one runner left on base. As we head to the 7th inning stretch, the Americans lead 2-1 here at George Taylor Field. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com.
We're in the bottom of the 7th here at George Taylor Field in St. Catharines, Ontario. The Americans ahead of the Ironbacks 2-1. Leading off for the Ironbacks is Cooper Martin. Pitch outside, misses for ball 1.
Last call for alcohol. Service concludes at the end of the 7th inning.
2-7-0 for the Americans, 1-5-0 for the Ironbacks. Pitch from Foxcroft, a fastball popped up into center. Core takes a couple steps back, and he hauls it in for the first out of the inning. So Cooper Martin will head back to the dugout.
Number 19, Wes Thompson.
And Wes Thompson will come up to the plate, who's 2 for 2 today. A triple and a homer, shy of the cycle even as well.
Yeah, Thompson's been huge for this team. Him and Shin fighting for 4 of the 5 hits. Bullock, who also has one as well. Shin had that RBI, as you mentioned. Thompson has been huge, that center fielder.
Slattery now up and throwing for the Americans, the left-hander. Foxcroft's pitch misses upstairs. Really going as long as he can go. Here now working into the 7th inning. Wes Thompson at the dish. Here's the 1-0. Foxcroft misses inside. Starting to lose a little bit of that command. Behind in the count 2-0 now to Wes Thompson. Also probably being a little bit picky to a guy that's 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, pitch count at a 105. Certainly the last, and they're going to see this is a guy who's only pitched 1 inning. Now they're opting to go for over 100. So you mentioned he will be picky. And now it's a 3-0.
That one misses inside. So 3-0 1 out in the inning. See if Foxcroft can work back in the count. Against West Thompson. Pitch. Foxcroft misses upstairs, looking a little bit out of gas now as he walks West Thompson on 4 pitches.
Yeah, CJ Stu's going to come out to talk with him. Got that first pop out, but as you mentioned now, walked him on 4 pitches, and you're taking Juarez, who 0 for 2 so far, and it's been a pretty easy out for the Americans, but don't want to lift something too much over the plate. I mean, albeit talking about a top hitter hitting 200, but he has RBIs, he has the double, so just because he's not done well this year doesn't mean he's terrible. And we saw Tamura against the Americans, who hadn't had a hit all year, had 4 RBIs and a double and a single. So don't count out anyone. I mean, Shin had the RBI and he's batting 148.
You wonder if this could be the last hitter for Foxcroft. Pitch, fastball drilled into center, coming on Core, and he makes the catch. Maharas gave it a ride, but right at Evan Core, who took a couple steps in, and that's the second out of the inning. And here comes Will Cordero. That looks like it could be it.
I really like this move from Coach Cordero. You're going to the top of the lineup with Mike Rodriguez, who, albeit doesn't have a hit yet, he is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Foxcroft had a great outing for this Americans team, going 6 2/3. Bring in Porter Slattery. Who's your guy, that reliever who you really trust to get the out against Rodriguez, and you might have try and go 2 1/3 for that save.
So the Ironbacks, top of the order coming up. The Americans going to the bullpen in Porter Slattery, who will face off against Michael Gregas here in the bottom of the 7th.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter.
So the top of the order coming up for the Ironbacks and Michael Gregas. He's 0 for 1 today, 2 walks and a pop out to third. Runner at first in West Thompson, who walked earlier in this inning. Slattery, a lefty, deals against the lefty. Gregas misses outside. Slattery on for his 11th appearance of the year, which leads the Americans in appearances. Actually just pitched on Saturday on the 4th against the Muck Dogs. Just 1 inning in that game, though. Pitch from Slattery, outside corner, gets the call with a fastball. Now 1-1. Slattery on the year, like I mentioned, his team high 11th appearance. So Will Cordero really trusting his guy here in Slattery. 1-1 count, the lefty deals. Outside, just misses, now 2-1.
Certainly can see the velocity from Slattery. Just needs to get 1 out here.
Slattery, a 3.63 ERA and 17 1/3 innings pitched this year. 14 strikeouts, a 7.27 K per nine. Here's the 2-1, a nice slider from Slattery, a beauty that lands down the middle. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Americans lead 2-1 here on a Monday night in St. Catharines. It's July 6th. Pitch outside, misses with the slider, so that will release the runner in Wes Thompson off first. He'll get a head start. A 1-run ball game, a real pitcher's duel as Kemp and Foxcroft dealt the whole game. Now we're into the bullpens. 3-2. There goes Thompson from first. Pitch chopped by Holmes. Snooze picks up, throws to first, not in time. An infield single for Michael Gregus. He beats it out. And the Ironbacks set up first and second with 2 outs. Tough play for CJ Snooze. Did his best, but couldn't make the play.
Yeah, straight down that first base line. No chance for Slattery to get it. It was all Snooze and catcher's gate. Or bang, bang play, and a 6-pitch at bat goes the way of Gregus, and now it'll bring up Panazzo. Go-ahead run at first base here as the Americans have been leading 2-1 for about an inning and a half now.
So Panazzo now batting from the right side. A switch hitter against the lefty Slattery. Slattery will step off. Snooze will trot out, talk things over with Slattery. He says, my bad, looks like they didn't talk about signs. Wes Thompson could be peeking in and looking at the signs Snooze was giving, trying to steal him, communicate to Panazzo at the plate. Now Slattery talking things over with Snooze, maybe now got a sequence. Slattery dealing from the left side against the righty Panazzo. First and second, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch. Outside corner, just misses with the fastball. Now 1-0.
Big spot here for Panazzo. 6 RBIs. Double could score 2.
Here's the 1-0. Outside, misses with the changeup. Slattery behind 2-0. Slattery on the year, 16 walks and 17 1/3 innings compared to 14 Ks. He's also given up 1 homer. Big moment for the Americans. Defense here looking to get out of this one. Slattery will step off again. Count 2-0. 2 outs. Pitch misses low. Now 3-0. Jordan Gallo looming on deck. Not a guy you want to face if you're an Americans pitcher who's in fact struggled a little bit tonight, 0 for 2, but on the year, far from struggling, batting over .450. Count 3-0. See if Panazzo has the green light here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch. He does not. Takes a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. Slattery looking to work backwards.
Just looking for a good pitch that can eat up Panazzo. Thought he had that in that last play earlier. Just stayed fair.
Count is 3-1 against Panazzo. 2 outs in the inning. Gregus off first, Thompson off second. Slattery from the stretch. Time is called by Peyton Panazzo. Slattery, a guy that works with a 3-pitch mix, a fastball, slider, changeup. Drops down a little bit from the left side, not over the top, but not complete submarine. He misses inside and walks Panazzo on 5 pitches. That'll bring up Jordan Gallo, the most dangerous hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, huge spot here for Slattery. Talked about it, came in that 1-1 game. Had a comeback. There's honestly similar play here where there's a runner at third and just couldn't get it from his glove and transfer it over. Huge spot here for Gallo. 21 RBIs. Could certainly change that here.
So the biggest at-bat of the ball game. Pitch Gallo bounces it back up the middle. Stopped by Canuel. Looks like gonna get the wave home. A long throw from second. And Gragas will score from second. It's a 2-out, 2-run single for Jordan Gallo. He gives the Ironbacks a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Mitch Canuel almost a Superman play to keep a run from scoring, but Gragas got the wave home for Richard Griffin and scored without really a play.
Yeah, Canuel just held it there, but didn't really throw it until it was too late as he scored from second. You think you just got to get that ball in immediately. Slattery blows the save.
Got a feel for Slattery a little bit. That's the second infield single of the inning. Here's Hank Vandermeer. Quite a matchup in terms of height here. Slattery, a 6'5" left-hander, facing off against Hank Vandermeer, a 6'7" left-hander. First and second, 2 outs in the inning. Count is 1-0 pitch. Chopped behind home and foul down the first baseline, I should say. So count is even at 1. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The Americans led this whole game 2-1. Past couple innings at least. And now behind 3-2. See if they have some sort of rally. They're down to their final 6 outs. Slattery got to get out of this one, though, as he misses outside. Now 2-1 coming to Vandermeer. Slattery comes set. Panazzo off second, Gallo off first. Here's the pitch from Slattery. There's the slider, misses up and away. Now 3-1. Nobody warming for the Americans. Slattery got to work out of this jam. Seth Morrison throwing for the Ironbacks. Pitch to Vandermeer. Rips that one through to the left side. That'll fall for a base hit. 1 run is in Panazzo. Ganchow coming up, throwing to third. A close play. And Gallo in there. So Vandermeer heads to second on the throw as well. It's a 2-out RBI double for Hank Vandermeer. And the Ironbacks now lead 4-2.
You and I both really liked the move to take out Foxcroft after we got that out on Maharez, but Slattery, 4 straight hits given up. Just a game where you were up 2-1. It's now surrendered 3 runs here in that bottom of the 7th. Do you think they should have kept Foxcroft in and just gotten that last out?
It's a lot easier to say now after the fact. Can't really go back and change. Would have been interested to see, but this inning not over. Yeah, Slattery giving up the lead, but got to get out as quick as he can because 4-2, 5-2, even 6-2, such a big difference. Got to stop the bleeding. First pitch misses down and in to Kieran Cutler, who is 0 for 2 today with a walk and a stolen base. Count is 1-0. Slattery working from the left side. Vandermeer off second, Gallo off third. Lineup kind of favored Slattery too. A lot of lefties really hitting the ball off of him.
You talk about that walk that Cutler had, but it ended up being huge as he stole a base to get into second and then scored on that shin double. So didn't get a hit, but did come around to score.
Count is 2-0, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch from Slattery, a changeup. Slattery didn't get the call, kind of laughing out there on the mound, thinking, how is that a ball? Must have missed up a little bit with the changeup. Now 3-0. So Cutler way ahead in the count, 3-0. Second and third, here's the pitch. That one's called a strike.
Looked to be the same spot there, Tom, if not a little bit higher.
Yeah, Slattery giving the call with the fastball. So now 3-1. Cutler still ahead in the count. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch from Slattery. In there, called strike 2. So Slattery working back down 3-0, now 3-2. Second and third, 2 outs, 3-2 pitch. Cutler gives it a ride, but fouled on the right field line. Cutler, a .275 hitter this summer, 14 RBIs, 9 runs scored. Just 2 for his last 15, though. So looking to break a little bit of a slide here tonight against Porter Slattery, who's given up 3 hits since coming in. Also 3 runs. Full count pitch. Outside, doesn't get the call. And that'll load the bases here for the Ironbacks.
Carter Shin.
Slattery coming on, his first hitter, an infield single that didn't go more than 5 feet. Then walked a guy and gave up another infield single that Mitchell Canuel stopped up the middle, a double to left center, and a walk. So the bases are loaded here for Carter Shin, the shortstop this evening for the Ironbacks. Pitch by Slattery, a fastball in there, called strike 1. Count is 0-1, 2 outs in the inning. Bases are juiced. Here's the pitch. Fastball, another strike. Slattery moving and grooving on the mound now. Count is 0-2 against Carter Shin.
Just wish you'd done this 5 batters ago.
2 straight fastballs from the southpaw against Carter Shin. Way up in the count, 0-2. Wonder what he goes with here. Slider, changeup, maybe something. It's a changeup, and Shin out in front of it. Gives it a ride into shallow left. Savino underneath it. He makes the play. So Slattery gets out of the inning, but not before the Ironbacks score 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors in the inning and 3 runners left on base. We've played 7 full innings. The Ironbacks now lead the Americans 4-2. And the Americans are coming to bat here in the top of the 8th. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
Back here at George Taylor Field, and Coca-Cola is a proud supporter of Niagara Falls Americans baseball. A sweet, slightly acidic blend featuring distinct caramel and vanilla notes cut by a crisp, bubbly carbonation. Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Coca-Cola products are available in over 200 countries and territories worldwide, and you can find it at the concession stand at Sal Magley Stadium for all Niagara Falls Americans home games. Celebrate every big play with the crisp, classic taste of Coca-Cola. So the Americans coming to bat. Anthony Savino to lead things off for the red, white, and blue. And we're now in the top of the 8th. First pitch from Sengen, bounced to short, fielded by Shin. He'll go across the diamond for the first out of the inning. Savino is retired.
Now down to 5 outs left for this Americans team. This brings up Canuel, who's gotten the ball in the air a couple times, just to get on base.
So how about Carter Shin ending the last inning with a pop out to Savino, and Savino starting the next inning with a ground out to Shin, trading outs either shortstop to each other. 1 out in the inning. Pitch to Canuel, driven the other way, drifting foul, and it'll land foul. First strike of the at-bat to the Americans' second baseman.
Cannewell did get on by the walk earlier before grounded to a double play by Snooze, who's done that twice so far.
He's on deck. Cannewell at the plate. 0-1 pitch. Sangan misses low and away. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Seth Morrison still throwing in the Ironbacks bullpen, has been for about 3 innings. Sangan misses outside. 2-1. Cannewell ahead in the count.
Americans looking to get to their middle of their lineup there. 3 through 7 hitters all have a hit.
Pitch. Cannewell lofts that one to the right side of the infield, but Panazzo over and makes the play for the 2nd out of the inning. Cannewell maybe 10, 12 feet away from a base hit there if he can elevate that ball a little bit more, but just got it off the end of the bat, 2nd out of the inning.
So bring up CJ Snooze, who can't ground to double play here because there's no one on.
He had 2 straight games with a double play for Snooze as he comes up to the plate with 2 outs in the inning, takes a slider for a strike. 0-1, Sangan quickly ahead. Counts 0-1, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch. Snooze takes that one upstairs. Now 1-1. Snooze 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out twice to shortstop. One of them just 1 out. Another 6-4-3 double play. Pitch. Misses in the dirt. So now 2-1, 2 outs. The Americans just 4 outs left. But Snooze the 10 hitter. So you mentioned getting back to the middle of the order. Top of the order, David Harris is on deck. You wonder if they might be better suited with that being in the 9th rather than wasting a Harris at bat here with 2 outs, even if Snooze got on. Takes that one upstairs, now 3-1.
Talk to Sagan here, and you think back to that start of that bottom of the 7th where Snooze played that close, that sort of dribbler from Grigas down that first base line. Nearly, that could have been that 3rd out, Tom, and it could still be a 2-1 game, but just able to leg that one out, and then couple of walks, couple of hits, and that's how the score is what it is now.
So 3-1, Snooze ahead. Pitch. Fastball. Snooze gives it a ride into center. Coming on Thompson. He makes the play. So Snooze 0 for 3 today. And the Ironbacks coming to bat here in the bottom of the 8th. The red, white, and blue go down in order 1, 2, 3. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
Back here at historic George Taylor Field. Seats about 2,000 people. Home to the St. Catharines Blue Jays from 1986 to 1994 and the St. Catharines Stompers from 95 to 99. The Blue Jays single A affiliate in the New York Penn League for those 13 years, 86 to 99 between the two teams, the Blue Jays and the Stompers. They won the New York Penn League championship in 1986, but then moved to New York City in 2000 as the Queens Kings, and in 2001 became the Mets-affiliated Brooklyn Cyclones. Carlos Delgado, Jeff Kent, Pat Henkin, 3 guys that played here at George Taylor Field in those years. We're back to baseball here. There's a strike from Porter Slattery, a nice slider to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th against Josh Bullock.
Bullock grounded out, stranded shin at second base.
Punches that one into center. It's a leadoff single for the Ironbacks extra hitter.
This Americans team was no-hitting the Ironbacks through 3, and now since then they've had 9 hits.
Yeah, Slattery come on and giving up a couple too many hits. But the Americans' offense kind of fallen apart after inning 2 and inning 4, where they put up a couple runs apiece, one run apiece, excuse me. As Martin squares around a bunt.
I wonder if they'll opt to go with Sagan to shut down the Americans, or if they'll go to Morrison, who we've seen warming in the pen for a while, Tom.
Yeah, Morrison been out there since the 6th or 7th inning. Slattery from the left side. Martin looking for a push bunt down the first baseline, but fouls it off. Evens the count at 1.
Martin started that bottom of the 7th, with the fly out, and then the Thompson walk, and then Slattery coming in and scored. So Martin wasn't a part of that inning directly, but did start it out.
Yeah, Martin 0 for 3 today. 3 F8s, all flyouts to center. That one misses out down and in. Now 2-1. Josh Bullock on first. He's having himself a day. 2 for 3 with a walk and a ground out. Double and a single in this one. He's off first. Not much of a threat to run over there. Slattery gives him a look. The 2-1. That one's popped up into center. Core ranging back. He makes the play. So Cooper Martin 0 for 4. 4 F8s. All flyouts to center for the Ironbacks third baseman.
Certainly keeping Core busy in center field.
Here's Wes Thompson. He's 2 for 2 today. A single, a double, and a walk. Came around to score to tie the game at 2. Last inning. Slattery just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning, but the Americans just 3 outs away. They only got 3 outs to work with, but the top of the order coming up in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Thompson. Cracked into left center. That'll land in the gap. Coming over Core, he cuts it off. Bullock will stop at third. Savino cuts it off into shallow left field. So Wes Thompson's got his second double of the ball game. And the Ironbacks have second and third here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, played well by Core. We thought that was going to be a triple, but played well, also able to keep the runner at third. We talked about earlier where the Ironbacks would trade outs for runs. Americans really can't do that here as they're down by 2 and trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, they'll bring the infield in, like you mentioned. Cannot trade outs for runs. There's a pinch runner coming on for the Ironbacks. Bullock coming out. Chase Hubble coming on as a pinch runner for Josh Bullock. Chase Hubble, excuse me. That's a go-ahead run to make it a 5-2 ball game. So some insurance for the Ironbacks if Hubble were to score.
Would love a line out here to Marcotte for a double play.
Had one of those earlier in the game. Weiss at first. First pitch. This is inside to Maharez for ball 1. Maharez 0 for 3 today. A couple of pop-outs and a line out to center. His last time up in the 6th. All 4 infielders are in. Outfield is in as well for the Americans. Pitch misses upstairs. So now 2-0. Slattery quickly behind. There is an open bag at first. But on deck, Michael Gregus, who had an infield single his last time up.
Sangardi warming in the pen here for the Americans if they are able to force it longer, or if he'll try and come in later. So swing and miss on that one.
Yeah, Maharez cuts on and misses on a slider down and in. A really nice pitch from Slattery. So count is 2-1. 1 out in the inning. Pitch from Slattery. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Maharez way out in front of a changeup. Really nice lefty change for Slattery. Count is 2-2. Big pitch coming here for the Shawnee, Kansas native. Infield in for the Americans. Second and third. Pitch. Chopped foul on the third baseline. We'll do 2-2 all over again. Slattery pitches at Drury University for his collegiate ball. Now for the Americans this summer. Here's the 2-2. Maharez chops down foul. Staying 2-2. Wonder if Maharez is a ballerina in his free time. Sticking with the 2-2 right here.
A terrible joke from Tom. Fouled off that down the first and third base line. Slattery is looking for a K right now.
2-2 from Slattery. Pitch outside, misses. Now 3-2. Slattery cannot load the bases here with the top of the order and Michael Gregus looming on deck. Gregus this summer hitting .329. Maharez at the plate just batting .200. This is the guy you want to face if you're Slattery. Full count. 1 out in the inning. Pitch. Cut on and miss. Strike 3. Slattery. A big strikeout of Will Maharez with a slider. Gets him to chase. So now 2 outs. Here's Michael Gregus.
A huge strikeout. It's Maharez, but it'll bring up Gregus, who just singled it pretty quietly down that first base line on a full counter. That started that outing for Slattery.
First pitch of the at-bat to Gregus. That one's drilled to right field. It'll fall for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes another, and he scores. It's a 2-out, 2-run single for Michael Gregus, giving the Ironbacks some much-needed insurance, making it a 6-2 ball game here in the top of the 9th.
Ironbacks second baseman, number 1, Peyton
Michael Gregus could be the dagger.
Yeah, the full count single to start off with Slattery. He started it out and directly got those couple runs. He gets 2 of his own there. Really has been the thorn in Slattery's side here. It's now a 6-2 ball game.
So a huge hit for Gregus. That brings up Panazzo. Gregus off first. Pitch from Slattery. Caught on a miss. Strike 1. Slattery grooving that slider tonight, but just unable to get out of innings when he needs to. Count is 0-1 against Panazzo. Slattery checks on Gregus. Pitch in there, called strike 2. So Gregus 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs against the lefty Slattery tonight. Panazzo walked his last time up last inning against Slattery. Pitch from Slattery. Cut on and miss. Strike 3. But in the inning, the Ironbacks score 2 more runs on 3 hits. No errors in the inning. And they leave 1 runner stranded. The Americans down to their final 3 outs. The top of the order coming up as they trail the Ironbacks 6-2, excuse me. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs.
Back here at George Taylor Field for the top of the ninth, the Americans down to their final 3 outs. Leading things off is David Harris, looking to ignite a flame and start a rally for the Americans. Harris 1 for 3 today, a single and a stolen base in the third, hitting .429 coming into tonight, riding a 6-game hitting streak. Takes that one inside for ball 1. Harris also an 11-game on-base streak. He's 7 for his last 15, hitting .400 in the month of July coming into tonight. And the count 1-0 here against Caleb Sangen. Pitch. Fouled off down the left field line. So 1-1 is the count. We're in the top of the ninth here at George Taylor Field. The Ironbacks lead the Americans 6-2, 6-11-0 for the Ironbacks, 2-7-0 for the Americans. Pitch to Harris, misses low, actually gets the call for strike 2. Just clips the bottom half of the zone.
Yeah.
So Harris behind the count 1-2. Plays his collegiate ball at Clarkson University. Having a heck of a summer here for the Americans. Getting to start in the leadoff spot tonight. Kind of been all over it in second, fourth, even third. Now hitting leadoff, no Justin Gladfelter. Pitch. Inside, misses, now 2-2.
Americans 2 for 8 on the leadoff compared to 4 for 8 for the Ironbacks. You'd like to get Harris on any way he can.
2-2 from Sank. Pitch. Upstairs, misses. Harris has worked it full.
Morrison still working in the pen. I wonder if get him on, they'll try and get him in for 3 outs, but big pitch here to Harris.
The Americans dugout getting into it. A full count pitch coming to the leadoff hitter. Pitch. Fastball misses inside. Dave Harris works a leadoff walk. Starting a little rally for the Americans.
Center fielder number 44, Evan Core.
Evan Cora looking for his first hit, certainly with a big spot here now to move Harris over.
Would be a good spot for Core's first hit of the summer. Keeping the rally going if possible. Like you mentioned, Ethan, I mean, talk about Core's had some good at-bats, but if he can get this first hit of the summer as he takes ball number 1, like you said, I mean, that would really be a good spot for the red, white, and blue.
Cora 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Or at least wouldn't mind getting a walk. Had 2 of those yesterday.
Pitch to Core. In there, called strike 1. Sangen from Welland, Ontario. Tosses from the right side. Kind of a go-to reliever this summer for the Ironbacks. Checks Harris at first. Count is even at 1. Pitch to Core. Chopped foul behind home. Count now 1-2. Sangen this past year at Fanshawe College. 8 appearances, 13 innings, had a 1.62 ERA, 9 strikeouts to 5 walks. Reminder that these two teams will battle the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday in Niagara Falls, Wednesday back here at George Taylor Field. Count is 1-2, pitch. in the dirt. Good block from Cutler. And leaving the count at 2.
Ironbacks looking to take game 1 of their quote-unquote series against the Americans. More importantly, with the season series to 3-3.
Yeah, kind of look at it like that. Kind of a 3-game set right here the next 3 days. Harris off first. Pitch. Chop to the left side. Fiddle on the back end by Shin. Going the short way. He beats Harris at second. What a play by Carter Shin in the hole. Throws out David Harris for the first out of the inning.
Humongous play there from Shin. Immediately after that's hit, you think, all right, it's going to get through. Then you think, all right, Shin's just going to have to hold on to it there. But it's a huge out to get the lead runner. Huge play there in the fielder's choice.
Here's Dominic Zangardi. 1 for 3 today, a triple back in the 4th. But since, other than that, lined out to right his last time up, killed a ball, actually, as the cloud's starting to really move here at George Taylor Field. There goes Core from first. Throw down, not nearly in time. Core swipes the bag. Had 28 steals this past year at SUNY Niagara. Gets his second of the summer for the Americans.
Winner doesn't mean much. Look at Sagan, but still gets 90 feet closer. Zangardi could score him now with a single.
But still down 4. Going to take a whole lot more than just a single to really make this game different. Pitch was a ball. Here's the 1-0. Outside. Way up and out for ball 2. Ironbacks would love to get out of this game using only 2 arms. Just Kemp and Sangan. Pitching in this league, just like any other collegiate summer league, is a premium. Pitch to Zangardi, upstairs, misses.
3-0, just to show how huge that out is. 1 pitch away, get runners first and second, but could easily have been bases loaded with no one out.
See if they turn Zangardi loose. 3-0. Pitch from Sangan, almost hits him. That'll make it first and second as Richard Griffin will take a slow walk to the mound. Looks like he may call on the bullpen. And he will. Bring in a new arm here in the top of the 9th. As we take a moment to honor and recognize Salino Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, a valued sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Since its founding in 1995, Salino Plumbing has grown from a specialized plumbing company into a full-service contractor, offering 24/7 emergency repairs and maintenance. Salino Plumbing's local Buffalo plumbers are licensed, experienced professionals who work with your best interests in mind. They also aim to handle calls on the same day with fully stocked service vehicles to minimize wait times. Call 716-202-9665 for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical needs today. So the new pitcher here in the top of the 9th, looking to close things out for the Ironbacks, is Caleb Locatelli, who's traditionally an outfielder by trade from Thorold, Ontario.
Locatelli's had a tough year hitting. .042 hitting, only 1 hit in 24 at-bats, which was a single. But honestly, not really the guy you'd want to use here if you're the Ironbacks. 11.25 ERA when you have Seth Morrison, who's been warming for 4 innings, over less than half of that, only 4.6 ERA. Locatelli's appeared 7 times, went 8 innings, so averages around 1 inning each time he's out. 9 hits, 11 runs, only 10 earns, 4 walks to 6 strikeouts, given up a double and 2 triples. So, and also one other thing, 2 wild pitches and 3 hit by pitches. There's to Morrison, only 1 wild pitch, 2 hit by pitches. So bringing in a guy who's been pretty shaky, Tom. That first out by Shane appears to be huge. Against, you're bringing in a guy looking for a save situation if they bring in 1 more run. Just certainly an interesting guy who Morrison's been warming up, Tom, it feels like for half this game.
Yeah, he really has. Richard Griffin maybe hoping with those 2 runs last inning he can bring on Locatelli. Maybe if you give up 1 or 2, it's still not a big deal because they have a 4-run lead. That just proves how big that 2-out single was from Gregus to make this a 6-2 ball game, because you figure if this was still a 4-2 game, that single doesn't happen. Ganchow's coming up as the winning run, but the Americans still trail by 4. Pitch. Ganchow gives that one a ride down the left field line. Foul. Maybe 5 or 6 feet foul. Ganchow smoked it, but was way out in front of a curveball from Locatelli.
Locatelli, last time he pitched, went an inning against the Muck Dogs, where they fell 8-6 on June 30th. Didn't give up any hits. Allowed 1 strikeout, so played well against the Muck Dogs in a huge spot here.
Pitch misses up and in for a ball. Ganchow digging in from the right side. 22 RBIs on the year for the Americans left fielder. Core off second. Good speed on the bases for the Americans with Zangardi at first as well. Ganchow at the plate. Count is 1-1, 1 out in the inning. Locatelli deals outside with a curveball. Misses, about a ball off. Now 2-1. Mentioned Locatelli, an outfielder by trade. Played this past year at Erie Community College. Played in 29 games, started in 14, batted .268, a .446 on-base percentage. Here's the 2-1 again, Ganchow. Pops it up. Looks like it's going to stay in play, drifting into foul ground by the right side, and Gregus hauls it in for the second out of the inning. And the Americans suddenly down to their final out in Logan Stickler, who swung at the first pitch of all 3 at-bats tonight, but has a single.
Yeah, huge out there against Ganchow, but Stickler can reach it. Would bring up Weiss and Marcotte. Combined between him, Stickler, and Weiss, all have 4 hits between them. So big spot here for Stickler to continue this game.
Locatelli out of the stretch. 2 outs in the inning. First and second. First pitch to Stickler. Chopped foul on the third baseline. Stickler all over it, but a little bit out in front. So Stickler behind in the count, 0-1. Zangardi off first, Core off second. Pitch from Locatelli. Stickler fouls it off, and the Americans down to their final strike. Big pitch coming here from Locatelli to Stickler. Coming set. Count is 0-2. 2 outs in the inning. Zangardi off first. Core off second. There goes Core. And he'll steal third without a throw. A defensive indifference for Evan Core. Zangardi doesn't even follow. So now runners at the corners for the Americans. Stickler digging in, the second-year Niagara Falls American. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. And Caleb Locatelli comes on, gets 2 outs, and earns the W for the Niagara Ironbacks as they even the series 3-3 here in 2026 against the Niagara Falls Americans.
Americans led for 7 innings. They just opted to go with Slattery. He's really let them down again, Tom. I mean, that's a rough way to say it, but 2 straight games where he's came in with the lead or he's came in with a tie ball game. He just can't hold on against a reliever who's been really their guy. It's another game the Americans probably should have won, and they'll take game 1 of this 3-game step.
Ironbacks player of the game, number 19, Wes Thompson. Wes went 3 for 3. He had a walk, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored.
So the Ironbacks win this one 6-2, evening the season series, like I mentioned, at 3. A really nice job by the Ironbacks pitching staff, holding the Americans to just 2 runs, scoring 1 run in the second, 1 run in the fourth, and the Ironbacks offense fighting back putting up 6 runs in the final 3 innings. Able to get them all off Porter Slattery after a really quality start from Tyler Foxcroft, going 6 2/3 scoreless.
Yeah, outstanding game from Foxcroft. One of his, easily his best outing compared to that 1 inning he went. It just goes to show that he can be that guy against this Ironbacks team. Just game you think he deserved that win. Sadly, it wasn't the case.
Yeah, the Ironbacks left 13 men on base as well in this one, so they clearly had some more room to score guys on base, but they didn't tonight. The final box score, 6 for the Ironbacks, 2 for the Americans, 11 hits for the Ironbacks, 7 for the Americans. No errors for either squad, so that'll break the error streak for the Americans as that one stops at 18 games in a row. First time in 18 games the Americans have not had an error, but they couldn't get the victory tonight. 13 guys left on base for the Ironbacks, 4 men left on base for the Americans. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. We say thank you so much for spending part of your Monday night with us. These two teams back at it again tomorrow night at Sal Magny Stadium at 6:30 p.m. First pitch. We'll be live at 6:20 on the Americans Sports Network. Have a great rest of your Monday night.